Minister, Ireland has one of the lowest employment rates for disabled people in the EU at 32.3%. This results in almost 1/4 of people unable to work due to illness or disability, living in consistent poverty compared to 6.7% of the rest of the population. Many disabled people want to work, but they continue to face structural and physical barriers. What is being done to assist disabled people to get employment and to start their own businesses?
Thank you, Minister.
Look, Deputy, thank you for raising this question. My department have a responsibility, along with others, to ensure that increasing numbers of people with disabilities participate in the labour market, and that we do more to do that. I want to recognise, Deputy, that we're not where we need to be as a country in this area, and it's going to be a priority for me over the next year or so to change that. Within the public sector, there are some good results where we're meeting targets. In my own department, for example, we're well above the 6% target that was set for the public sector. Also within the IDA and Enterprise Ireland, they are too. But that isn't really the story. The story here is across our economy that has full employment at the moment. Can we do more through our agencies and through incentives with employers to ensure that we provide opportunities for people with a disability to get paid work? And I'm determined to do more on that. We don't rate well with other European countries in this space. About a third, slightly more than a third of people with a disability in Ireland have paid employment. Not good enough, particularly when we have such employment opportunity in Ireland at the moment. And I see people with a disability as a significant asset in terms of employment opportunity in Ireland. Of course, for them, in terms of their own employment opportunities, which is really important, but also for employers too. And there are a number of innovative, good projects that the government are supporting around the country. There are a whole series of things actually that Enterprise Ireland are doing and my department are doing that I can outline for you if you want. But I think it's an accepted criticism that regardless of the positive things that are happening, it's not impactful enough right now, and I will be doing quite a review across my department's agencies in terms of what we can do to improve Ireland's performance in this area, and so I'm happy to put that on the record, and thanks for raising it.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy.
Thank you, Minister. I think you're right. At a time when high employment rates are so kind of evident, the lack of employment for disabled people is even more stark. The absence of joined-up policies, I think, is a key cause of this. For example, poor public transport means that disabled people can't get to jobs. So in Cork South West, many local link services only run mid-afternoon, so that means people can't get to work. It's just not designed for that. Or many disabled people face an income cliff when they get a job, as many of their social welfare supports then suddenly stop. And I think the social welfare support should recognise that there's a cost of disability whether you're in employment or not, and it shouldn't be this disincentive for people to go into employment. And I realise that some of these issues relate to other departments, but Minister, for employment you need to have a role in addressing all of the structural barriers, I think, and on a matter directly related to your portfolio, could you outline what you're doing to support disabled entrepreneurs? In terms of standard PAYE jobs, there are supports for disabled people, but this logic hasn't been applied to disabled people seeking to start their own business.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
Yeah, so I mean, just on the public transport issue, I mean, I accept the barriers into the workforce, particularly in rural parts of Ireland. But can I say that some of those barriers are not as difficult to overcome as they used to be. Many more people are now working remotely. They're getting options to work from home. We have technology platforms now that allow many skilled people to work from home or to work from local enterprise hubs in places like Skibbereen and elsewhere. So I think that there are a lot more opportunities now through using technology that allow people to work remotely, and people, particularly people that have a physical disability and have limited public transport options. We should be able to work with them to find a potential employment opportunity. Enterprise Ireland is focused on ensuring that their supports for entrepreneurs and enterprise are accessible to all, including people with a disability. EI's online content has been adapted to make information more accessible. EI continues to invest in accessible training content available on eilearn.ie and works in conjunction with stakeholders in local enterprise offices and third-level colleges to develop new programmes and initiatives in this area.
Minister, and as you know, the hubs, and Skibbereen is a great example of a remote working hub, but you'd need transport in many instances to get to that hub if you're in a kind of a more rural area. So they're doing their bit to provide the remote working opportunities with no public transport for people to get to it. But I encourage you to help your colleagues in other departments how their responsibilities relate to employment prospects amongst disabled people. And we need to develop robust policies to tackle malpractices within the public services. The Disability Participation and Consultation Network highlighted that policies around returning to work after acquiring a disability need to be revised. The Disability Matters Committee has heard examples of people unable to return to their public sector jobs because they're not being granted flexible arrangements that they might need. As a former Minister for Defence as well, you'll be aware that many disabled people are excluded from careers in the Defence Forces. And I mean, what kind of a message does that send? We had representatives from the Independent Living Movement Ireland into the committee as well. They pointed out that they could contribute to desk work, strategy, logistics, all vital components. At a time when the Defence Forces are severely understaffed, it's just illogical and discriminatory to exclude a whole cohort of people.
Yeah, Deputy, just first of all, in terms of some of the other things that Enterprise Ireland and the IDA are doing, last year Enterprise Ireland signed a partnership agreement with Open Doors to further develop awareness campaigns and programmes that will utilise success stories of self-employed and entrepreneur role models with a variety across a variety of areas, including people with disabilities. Additionally, the office infrastructure is designed or has been adapted to accommodate people with intellectual and physical disabilities. IDA Ireland are working in partnership with Generation Ireland to launch a pilot programme designed to widen the talent pool and attract people from diverse backgrounds to avail of employment opportunities, and that is, I think, going to deliver some results as well. But Deputy, as I said at the start, I think we can do more and we can be more impactful in this area. I have personal experience of some really innovative projects that are emerging that I think can be templates that can be replicated in other parts of the country too, for people with a disability to actually get trained and to get the skills they need to prepare them for the workplace, which I think has been successful. We're not doing enough of it.
Thank you, Minister.
And I think over the next 12 months, I hope we'll see some progress in terms of the numbers that have been pointed to in recent weeks.